Hi everybody, my name is Abhilasha and I am your favorite VRC educator on Unacademy. Here is my 22 minutes revision session for CAT. We are going to be covering a CAT 2021 slot 3 reading comprehension in today's session. Before we start out with anything, please make sure that you have connected with me on Telegram using my Telegram channel. That's AbhiCat. AbhiCat is the short link to my channel which is called VRC 99.99 Abhilasha. Alright, so few announcements guys before I begin. So the Target IM batch 2023 is starting on the 30th of November. This batch will be conducted by top educators of Unacademy. So Ravi Prakash sir, Ronak sir, Shabana ma'am, Bharat sir, Udit sir, myself, Raman sir and Ritu ma'am will be taking classes in this batch. The batch will be conducted in English, Hindi, so English covering CAT, and it's a brand new batch guys. So all you have to do is use my code AbhiCatLive to subscribe to this batch. Okay, the subscription is there, it is available. Just use my code AbhiCatLive. Now, the USPs of this newly launched batch will be that there will be 100% comprehensive coverage of the syllabus by the top educators, unlimited access to live and recorded classes with structured courses, 25,000 plus practice questions, 100 plus extensive mock tests, and mentorship from CAT experts and IM graduates. So there are limited seats available. You can subscribe right away. Now there is an early bird offer for CAT 2023 aspirants where you will save 30% on 12-month and 15-month subscriptions for CAT. So if you take a plus subscription for 15 months or 12 months, it will end up costing you 20,699 or 18,899, and you will get a 33% and a 31% off. If you take an iconic subscription of the same duration, that is 15 month or 12 month, the iconic subscriptions will cost you 34,650 and 31,680 respectively, where you will get a 32% and a 31% off respectively. Now, this offer is valid only till 23rd of November, so you still have a couple of days. Today is there, today is 22nd, tomorrow will be 23rd, so to take advantage of this, all you have to do is use my code, that is ABHICATLIVE for taking your subscription. Now guys, CAT 2022 live paper analysis is going to happen on the 27th of November with our amazing, awesome top educator panelists who will be discussing, who will be taking up live learner calls. They will give you centers live updates. They will give you score versus percentile, and of course everything else. So 10:30 a.m. from on 27th November. I am very excited to be there. I hope you will also join us. Tarun Malik sir, Udit sir, Shweta Arora, Ravi sir, and my dearest Shabana ma'am will all be participating in this. So do join in for this fun. And it is going to be awesome fun. The All India mock tests for OMEDs are happening on the 30th of November for SNAP 2 to 3 p.m. 14th of December for IFT 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and 28th of December for ZAT 9:30 a.m. to 12:40 p.m. Win your scholarships, know where you stand with an All India rank. All you have to do is scan this QR code and enroll for free. So no big deal, very easy to subscribe to this. Our CAT subscription features are huge guys. So if you wish to take a plus subscription or the iconic subscription, you will get the digital notes, unlimited access, interactive live, structured courses, PDFs, open house, community, live tests and quizzes, ask a doubt, raise a hand feature. Then you will also get, if you take the iconic subscription, so on top of all the plus features, you will also get physical notes. There are 8 books that you will get. GDPI and WOT preparation, one-to-one live mentorship, live doubt solving, test analysis, expert guidance, and Discord servers also. So there is a huge amount of features that are going into our CAT subscriptions, whether it is plus or iconic. So do take advantage. All right, let's get started. This RC is from CAT 2021 slot 3. So back in the early 2000s, an awesome thing happened in the new X-Men comic. Our mutant heroes had been battling giant robots called Sentinels for years. But suddenly, these mechanical overlords spawned a new threat, nano sentinels. Not content to rule Earth with their metal fists, these tiny robots invaded our bodies at the microscopic level. Infected humans were slowly converted into machines cell by cell. Very interesting article, this one, that in the X-Men comics, they had been, the heroes, the X-Men had been fighting these giant robots called Sentinels. But suddenly the Sentinels became very small. Nano means small. So they just did not rule Earth, but they also started ruling our humans. So they started infecting humans and turning humans into machines. Now, a new wave of extremely odd robots is making at least part of the Nano Sentinel story come true. So there is a very interesting thing that is happening, that some robots are making the same thing, the same story that is coming true. That is, in exactly the same way that uh, there were nano sentinels, now we have got these nano robots. Using exotic fabrication materials like squishy hydrogels and elastic polymers, researchers are making autonomous devices that are often tiny and that could turn out to be more powerful than an army of terminators. Some are 1 centimeter blobs that can skate over water. Others are flat sheets that can roll themselves into tubes, or matchstick-sized plastic coil that act as powerful muscles. No, they won't be invading our bodies and turning us into sentinels, which I find personally a little disappointing. How interesting. So in the first part of the passage, they tell us that X-Men were fighting robots, and now there is a new type of robot in this comic, which was the nano robot. Okay, and the nano robots are getting into our body. And then in the second paragraph, they start by telling us that now there are some new robots that we have created which are almost like the nano sentinels that are there. Interestingly, they're not getting into our bodies and turning us into machines, but, and the but now is important, some of them could one day swim through our bloodstream to heal us. Well, there could be some nanorobots that would be just traveling through our bloodstream to maybe clear up our arteries or some such thing. They could also clean up pollutants in water or fold themselves into different kinds of vehicles for us to drive. Well, who knows? Unlike a traditional robot, which is made of mechanical parts, so you have a traditional robot which is made of metal and steel and such like things. These new kinds of robots are made from molecular parts. So here is how the new robot is different from the traditional robot. So the minute you get this unlike, you know something different is happening. So this robot is made from a molecular part. The principle is the same. Both are devices that can move around and do things independently. So these robots can move around and independently do things. But a robot made from smart materials might be nothing more than a pink drop of hydrogel. So it could just be a gel, you know. Instead of gears and wires, it's assembled from two kinds of molecules, some that love water and some that avoid it. I really like this article, which interact to allow the bot to skate on top of a pond. So these two molecules, some that love water, some that avoid, which would work and create the bots or make the bots do different types of things, maybe even skating on top of a pond. Sometimes these materials are used to enhance more conventional robots. So you have your traditional robots and then they are made better by using these materials, these molecular materials. One team of researchers, for example, has developed a different kind of hydrogel that becomes sticky when exposed to a low voltage zap of electricity and then stops being sticky when the electricity is switched off. So here is a gel, you put electricity through it, it becomes sticky. Take out the electricity, non-sticky. This putty-like gel can be pasted right onto the feet or wheels of a robot. So you can stick it onto the wheels or feet of a robot. Now when the robot wants to climb a sheer wall or scoot across the ceiling, it can activate its sticky feet with a few volts, and then it can climb up a wall and then switch off the light again, switch off the electricity again, and then be normal. So the robot could turn off the adhesive like a light switch. Very interesting. It could work for us also maybe. Robots that are wholly or partly made of glue aren't the future that I was promised in science fiction. So hydrogel made robots were not the future that I was looking for. But it's definitely the future that I want. So the writer is very excited about it. He's saying that this is something that I would like to have in my life. I'm especially keen on the nanometer scale soft robots that could one day swim through our bodies. Metin City, a director at the Max Planck Institute for Intelligent Systems in Germany, worked with colleagues to prototype these tiny synthetic beasts using various stretchy materials, such as simple rubber, and seeding them with magnetic microparticles. So they have got this, they're trying to work and create these tiny synthetic beasts, tiny robots, which will have magnetic microparticles, and then they're assembled into a finished shape by applying magnetic fields. The result looked like flowers or geometric shapes made from tinker toy balls and stick modeling kits. They're guided through tubes of fluid using magnet and can even stop and cling to the sides of a tube. So these are like very interesting shapes, and they go inside your body, or they may go inside a tube of fluid and then can stop and cling to the side of a tube. Imagine the kind of things that could happen with such a liquid. Now here's our questions for this RC. So I've got 3 questions. Which one of the following statement best summarizes the central point of the passage? Once the stuff of science fiction, nanorobots now feature in cutting-edge scientific research. Robots will use nanorobots on their feet and wheels to climb walls or move on ceilings. The field of robotics is likely to be featured more and more in comics like the new X-Men. And 4, nanorobots made from molecules that react to water have become increasingly useful. Well, what I want you to do is, at any point of time you feel you need some more time, pause. For example, for this question you want to pause, go back, and then take a look at your answer. Well, the correct answer here, now let me give you the correct answer. The correct answer here, let's look through each of the options once. Option number 4 says nanorobots made from molecules that react to water have become increasingly useful. But we are not just talking of these molecules that react to water and the robots made from those. So this is a part of the passage, but not the entire central part. The field of robotics, so let's keep this aside, option 4. The field of robotics is likely to be featured more and more in comics, but we were not talking of comics. We were talking of real life. So 3 is absolutely out of the way. Eliminate. Robots will use nanorobots on their feet and wheels to climb walls or move on height ceilings. Yes, that was mentioned in the passage. But again, was that the main idea of the passage? Not really. So we will eliminate 2 also. So we come to option 1, which says once the stuff of science fiction, nanorobots now feature in cutting-edge scientific research. Yes, this is correct, because see, in the first paragraph, they told us that idea that X-Men comics had these nano sentinels, and now we are also creating these nanorobots which are made of molecular stuff and such like things. So 1 should be the right answer. Let's take a look at our answer. Yes, absolutely. See, and here we are, the first part of the passage told us that nano sentinel story, and unlike a traditional one, these are made from molecular parts. So we are talking of these new cutting edge technology robots which are being made by new material. So correct answer 1. Alright, let's go to the second question. Which one of the following statements best captures the sense of the first paragraph? So what were we talking about in the first paragraph? So remember, we have talked about how X-Men were there, and how X-Men were fighting the Sentinels, and then the Nano Sentinels came in, right? So let's take a look. People who were infected by Nano Sentinel robots became mutants who were called X-Men. None of the options listed here. Tiny Sentinels call X-Men infected people, turning them into mutant robot overlords. And X-Men were mutant heroes who now had to battle tiny robots called Nano Sentinels. Take a pause, take a minute, think of your answer, and then restart the video. Well, as far as I am concerned, here's my answer for you. The correct answer will be 4, because very clearly we have spoken about this several times, that the passage is talking about X-Men comics, that they were fighting these giant robots, and then they started fighting the Nano Sentinels, which is part of option 4, and that's your correct answer. Let's go to the last question for today. Which one of the following scenarios, if false, could be seen as supporting the passage? Number 1, nano sentinel-like robots are likely to be used to inject people to convert them into robots cell by cell. There are 2 kinds of molecules used to make some nanorobots, one that react positively to water and the other negatively. Robots made from smart materials are likely to become part of our everyday lives in the future. And some hydrogels turn sticky when an electric current is passed through them. This potentially has very useful applications. Well, let's go through this question again. I will give you a hint for this question. Now look at the question statement. It says which of one of the following scenarios, if false, could be seen as supporting the passage. So which of these statements, if I turn it into false, will say the same thing as the passage? Or you can also restate or reframe this question as, if true, will weaken the idea of the passage. Okay, if true, then it will weaken the idea given in the passage. Okay, so if false, then it will support the passage. If true, it will weaken the idea in the passage. So here is a minute. You take a minute, think about it, and then I will tell you the answer. So pause and then come back to the question. The correct answer here, boys and girls, will be something like I said, which is if true, will weaken or will prove the passage wrong. So take a look. Option number 1, which says nano sentinel like robots are likely to be used to inject people to convert them into robots cell by cell. Very clearly, the passage has said that this kind of thing is not happening, right? So if this is to be true, then it will weaken the idea given in the passage. So 1 is a very likely choice of answer. There are two kinds of molecules used to make some nanorobots, one that react positively to water and the other negatively. Well, this is true, and if it is true, it will support the author because this is what the author has said. It is simply reiterating what has been mentioned in the passage. So this then cannot be my answer. Look at 3. Robots made from smart materials are likely to become part of our everyday lives in the future. Well, again, this is also a reiteration of what has been mentioned in the passage. So, cannot be my answer. Some hydrogels turn sticky when an electric current is passed through them. This potentially has very useful applications. Again, is something that is mentioned in the passage. And if it is mentioned, so if this is true, then it will not weaken, it will just strengthen the passage. And therefore cannot be the correct answer. So yes, the correct answer will be 1. Let's quickly take a look. Yes. And the passage part where you had this was, no, they won't be invading our bodies and turning us into sentinels. So the correct answer here will be option number 1. I hope you've been able to understand the question. This was slightly tricky question. If false could be supporting, can also be converted into if true will be against the passage. And that is what the hack was here. So you had to pay attention to this, right? All right, guys. Every day at 9 p.m. I'm conducting a daily section test which you can join in. This is for CAT 2022. Remember to hit like, share, subscribe and the bell icon so that you stay connected with us. And also remember to use AbhiCat Live and get a 10% off till the 23rd. There is an early bird offer that is going on where you will get up to 30% off. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.